Since our launch in 2016, we've managed to gain a lot more traction in terms of the publicity that the competition first engendered. So we had over 120 entries in year one, which wasn't bad from a standing start, 21 on the short list and then 6 on a very short list. We had 3 winners of various categories and a total of £30,000 went out to them. And we've managed to give work to the out-and-out winners, a combination of a company called Motion Spot and Ryder Architecture, and they're now helping with the design of a new build project in Manchester, which I think will be a real clarion cry for what can be done with a bit more imagination into the disabled spaces in the hotel. We've managed to talk to a number of stakeholders, so Channel 4 have come on board and enabled us to have the launch party for this year's competition in their headquarters, which was a stunning place because the facilities are so anticipative of disabled people's needs. We've had a number of notable sponsors on board, not least Dyson, who got behind the campaign as well, and that's helped us, particularly in terms of moving away initially from just a design through architecture to design through the Design Council and design through companies who are excellent at design. We've expanded now to 5 prizes from 3 for next year. A little bit like a football season, we've kicked off in September of 2017 with the winning period being at the end of April 2018. We're going back to the House of Lords to announce the winners, which is a great spot. However, it's probably one of the most difficult buildings in Britain for someone who's disabled to get in or out of. But we like a challenge. I'm delighted that Penny Mordaunt, who's the Minister for the Disabled, has come on board and is now right behind the scheme. We've had various notes of support from Lord Rogers, the architect, as well as Alan Stanton, who in his own right is an outstanding architect but is disabled. Celia Thomas remains the main champion of the cause, she herself being restricted to a mobility scooter. And we've started to work with other industry bodies like Blue Badge Style and Fiona Jarvis, who I think have been doing a fantastic job in rewarding hotels who've made the difference. Our scheme is slightly different in that we're trying to incentivise and reward the designers of hotels to think ahead so it becomes automatic rather than reactionary, and that's currently where we're sitting. Well, to my great shock but utter delight, the RIBA and Design Council between them have now managed to take this competition truly international. And we've just had our first entries from Canada and Croatia, a little bit of alliteration there, which is great. If Crete would just join in, we'd have the full set. So I'm hopeful that we'll still get a lot of support from the domestic market, but if we can start to reach far corners of the earth, then we're going to get a much higher and greater breadth of competition entry. I think one of the nicest things for the winners from last year, all 3 of them, was the work and commissions that they have picked up as a result of the profile that the award scheme have given them, and in particular the monies that have been used and how sensibly they've been used to encourage and nurture additional new members of staff into their teams with the special aim of catering for the disabled. I think the statistic is something like 43% of able-bodied guests, when offered a disabled room at check-in, say, no, I insisted on having an able-bodied room. And that's a sad indictment of humanity, and it's a systemic problem I would like to avoid if we possibly can.